Okay, we're going to show you a quick tutorial of how to use the auction pages at dynobid.com. First thing we want to do is we want to start by going to dyno-bid.com in our browser. It's going to bring us to the main page. Now, I've set up a test auction just for this video to give you an idea of how to do this. Now, what we want to first do before we can bid, we have to register to bid. If you look on the left side of the screen, you have a register link. You want to click that. It's going to bring you the terms and conditions for the online auctions. You want to read through this because it states all the specifics that you need to know and legal jargon as far as doing an online auction when you're a bidder. One thing you need to pay attention to is any item you bid on, you are responsible for paying for. Don't go solely off of descriptions and assume things. If you're not sure about an item, don't bid or bid accordingly, but you're given 5 days before every auction is a preview period, so there's ample time for you to come up, check out items in person and preview them. But again, you are 100% responsible for any item you bid on, and there's no excuses for not paying for those items. So if you don't intend to pay, think you might change your mind later, don't bid. However, again, make sure you read all these terms and conditions, understand what they are, understand there's also a 10% buyer's premium for every item you purchase, and we'll discuss that here shortly. Once you've read this, go ahead and click here to continue, which it says click here to continue the registration process. And that's going to bring us to a screen to fill out all of our information. Now we choose our own password, use letters and numbers, your email address, your name, etc. You want to make sure this is the address that is the same billing address as your credit card that you're going to put on file with us. In order to get a bidder's number, you must have a credit card on file, and that credit card is used in case you don't make your purchases, in case you don't pay for your purchases in the allotted time. You're generally given 5 days to pay and pick up your items. After the 5th day, the credit card on file will be charged. Okay, but if you don't have the correct billing address here to match that credit card, it won't give you a registered bidder number. Once you've gone through this process, filled everything in, you click I have read and accept the terms of this auction again, submit registration, and within a few minutes you'll have a bidder's number emailed to you. Now, let's go to the test auction and let's get into a little bit of how this works. I'm going to click here, and this shows me all my details. It shows me what day it started, what day it's going to end. It tells me where it's being held or whose property it is. It tells me it's an online auction only with preview days and preview times, who I can contact with questions. Highlights just simply shows you highlights of some of the items in there. I know it's not much, but again, this was a test auction. Directly below the highlight items, we have the catalog. The catalog is the items that are up for bids. We can choose to view all items or items in a specific category. We'll get back to this in just 1 second. Now, on all our auctions, we offer you the ability to contact a freight carrier that we've set up great rates with on your behalf. Give them the auction number or the dimensions that are listed on each item, and they'll get you a freight quote. So that'll help people out that aren't in Dallas and want to ship some items. Again, it states there's a 10% buyer's premium. For instance, if your complete bid is $100 on, say, a fryer, the ending price will be $110 because it adds 10%. It tells you what day you must pay and pick up your items. It states again that if they're not picked up and paid for by that day, or at least paid for, your credit card on file will be charged. Removal times are strictly enforced. We give 5 days to do this. If you're past 5 days, you're going to pay a late fee and storage fees. After 30 days of storing here and sitting here, it's going to go back and revert back to the seller, and you're still going to be responsible for fees. So, let's save everybody some troubles here and not do that if you don't intend to purchase them. There are no warranties expressed or implied. You're buying everything as is, where is. So there's no complaining later on. If you bought an item that you simply just didn't pay attention to, you're stuck with it. Let's look at our top header section here. We've got item number. Item number is self-explanatory. It tells you what the item number is of the item. Photo, obviously the picture of the item. A basic description, like this is a Lincoln Redco Wedgemaster 8 section. Here is bids. It tells me how many bids are on this item. Currently there's no bids. It's going to tell me the high bidder's bidder number. It also tells me the current amount of the item. It tells me my next bid required to be able to bid. And then it gives me the option to place a bid under your bid or your maximum bid. What your bid means is if I put $25 in this section, it's going to automatically jump the next bid up or it's automatically jump the current bid amount to $25. So the next person has to beat $25. If you went to your maximum bid, it's going to bid incrementally for me, just like eBay does for a lot of you that are familiar with eBay. So if I bid $25 here, since my bid required is $5, I will have the high bid at $5. And if anybody outbids me and goes to $7, it'll counter back at $8. And it'll do that continually until it makes my maximum bid. If I don't want to wait or I want to try to beat a bidder out and I don't think they're going to last, I'm going to go ahead and type in $35. Now understand, this software program, the way it's set up, it won't allow you to do ridiculous bids to save you from making errors. For instance, if you were to type in $50, it wants to make sure you're not typing in $500. So it limits you to 5 times the amount of the bid, sometimes 10. So if it's a $1 starting bid, you can go $5 or $10. You can't go to 500. But let's go here. I'm going to put in a bid here to show you how it works. I'm going to do a maximum bid. So I'm going to do $10. And I'm going to come down here to the red fast food trays and do $10 as well. Now I want to show you something here, that when I've done $10 here on these red food trays, my bid is times 13. So something you want to pay attention to is any item with a quantity. That means I'm about to bid $130 for 13 trays. I'm paying $10 per tray, not $10 for a lot. So I don't want to do that. I want to bid, it's set here as $5 minimum. I still wouldn't pay that, but it's the easiest way to go. But we'll do the $5 to show you what works here. So $5 times 13. And I'm going to scroll down. And in order to submit the bids, I have to place my bidder number and my password. Okay, I'm going to click Submit Bids. By submitting one or more bids, you are agreeing to abide by the terms and conditions of this auction. So again, make sure I understand that before I bid, I'm asked numerous times to make sure I understand I'm responsible for these bids. So I submit, and it tells me up here in the top that my bid is accepted, that my bid amount on item 1, I'm at $5 high bidder, and it's going to bid for me up to 10. Now, if somebody else had a higher bid, it would come out in bold red and tell me I've been outbid. So now if you look here, high bidder is my test number, 0001, and my high bidder current amount, $5. Now the next guy that comes along has to bid $6. Okay? So it's pretty simple. Once you're done bidding, and the auctions are over, within a few hours you'll have an invoice emailed to you with all the items you've won, including applicable sales taxes. If you're a reseller or a dealer buying for resale, you need to submit to us a resale certificate with all your information to us before the auction ends. Don't wait until a week after it ends and 2 days after you're supposed to pay and say, oh hey, I want to turn this in. We've got to get it in before the auction ends. Once we have it on file, it'll stay on file for a year. But you need to pay the invoices by the due date and pick up your items by the due date. Understand that all the information will be listed in the description of the items and in the description of the terms, as we spoke about earlier on our main header page, in our notes and terms. We need to understand that we have to adhere to those guidelines. There's going to be sometimes there may be an emergency auction where you only have 1 day to pay and pick up. And if you don't pick up, your card will get charged, and it just causes a lot of problems for everybody. If you have any questions or comments, need some more information, don't hesitate to call us or email us, and we'll do what we can to assist you.